Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope you've been enjoying what you've been reading. I know that I have. I just finished this book. I was at my local library and saw this series on the shelf, and the first book. Often it's the case when you go to the library, one of the books is missing inevitably from the series. This one looked like it was all there. First book through, I think, 5 books. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway. This one is Midnight Riot by Ben Aaronovitch, or Aaronovitch? Hopefully that's how you say it. And it's first in the series of Rivers of London. It is about Peter Grant, or at least he's the central character. He's a young police officer, young constable in the Metropolitan Police. He's just finishing up his probationary period. Apparently, if I get this wrong, please correct me. But you go into the police, you go through your police academy training, and then you have a probationary period where you're walking a beat. You're a constable. After you've done your 2 years, then you might move to a different part of the service. He went through with another police officer. Her name is Leslie May. They're kind of partners, partnered up anyway, and they're just, constables together. Leslie is seen as much more capable than Peter. Peter can kind of get distracted, and so the Metropolitan Police think very highly of her, and they expect great things from her. Peter, on the other hand, when he sits down with his shift commander, his name is Inspector Neblet, at the it's kind of that interview where they're going to talk about where you're going to go next. Basically, they're going to move him to the paperwork branch of the service. So he wouldn't actually be going out and investigating. He wouldn't be walking a beat. He would be doing the paperwork for the other police officers, which sounds terrible. But anyway, there's a murder. And they have it's interesting. They have CCTV footage of this murder, and it looks like this man goes in. These two men cross paths, and as soon as one man is out of the shot, this man comes from the other way and hits the other guy with a stick, and he hits him so hard it knocks his head off. Obviously, that's a heck of a blow. And it's not like he swings a sword. You can see this big, they call it a 2-meter long bat, basically, and knocks his head off. Anyway, he's down guarding the scene, and he sees a ghost. The ghost, he doesn't realize it's a ghost at the time. This guy comes up and he says, whoa, what are you doing here? You can't be here. This is a crime scene. And he says, well, I saw everything that happened. And he's talking a little bit odd. And when he says, oh, well, let's get your statement, he was writing down in his police pad because he didn't realize it was a ghost. It's kind of late. The guy's, looks like he's all there. And it's not until he says, well, let's have you come down and give your statement. He says, well, that'd be kind of hard. I'm dead. He says, what? Yeah, I'm dead. And that's when he realizes that he's actually talking to a ghost. So he goes back and he talks to his fellow officer, Leslie. They're good friends. They went through academy together. He is attracted to her. Not sure if there's attraction coming back the other way. But anyway, what ends up happening is he decides to go back to the scene and see if he can find the ghost again. And as he's sitting there, he sees this man staring at him. And the man comes over to talk to him. And he says, what are you doing here? And he decides, you know what? I'll just tell him the truth. So he tells him exactly what he's doing there. He's looking for a ghost. And the guy says, well, what ghost are you looking for? And he says that he's looking for a ghost I forget the name the ghost gave. It's like something like Tenpenny. And he then says, well, I'm Detective Chief Inspector Thomas Nightingale. So he thinks, oh, crap. Now the police are going to think I'm crazy because I'm looking for a ghost. Well, come to find out, Detective Chief Inspector Thomas Nightingale is the last officially sanctioned wizard in England, and he works for the Metropolitan Police investigating weird stuff. So when he finds out that there's another police officer that can also see the weird stuff and do the weird stuff, he grabs him and says, you're going to be in my department now. He's a little bit weirded out that, one, that there isn't a department that admits to all the weirdness, but two, that he has the opportunity to escape from basically just shuffling papers for the rest of his career. So he does end up helping. He does end up helping he does end up joining this other branch of the Metropolitan Police, and he ends up meeting various entities that call England home. He meets a troll. He meets the goddess of the River Thames. He meets the god of the River Thames. I didn't realize maybe this is kind of one of those things that you only understand, or you only become aware of if you're a Londoner, and since I am not, I have no idea. But there's kind of a divide between the upper River Thames and the lower River Thames, and the lower River Thames belongs to the goddess, Mama Thames, and the upper River Thames belongs to Father Thames, and they kind of don't... in the book, obviously, these two spirits don't get along very well. Or, I shouldn't say spirits, because they actually have bodies. They are physical entities that draw power from their location. Anyway, so he gets involved with this kind of X-Files type world where there's the stuff that's going on that the public knows about, and the stuff behind the scenes where weird stuff happens, and there's a branch of the police that is there to deal with it. Very much enjoyed the book. I plan on reading through the rest of the series. Hopefully, the rest of the books will be there in the library and I'll be able to read them all. If you've read this one, let me know what you thought. Is this kind of the thing that you like? I do like this kind of stuff where you have... up until recently, I read high fantasy, I read low fantasy. I didn't realize what the distinction between the two was until very recently. I'd heard the terms, but it was kind of in the back of my mind, and I just kind of ignored it. But high fantasy is you build the world, and the world is its own thing and has magic and sorcery and all that other stuff. And then low fantasy is more like this, where you have the real world, but there's people in it that have magical powers and stuff. High fantasy is usually more of what I like, but every once in a while I'll come across something like this that is just amazing. And so I'll grab a hold of that. Anyway, that's it for this one. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, share, all that other stuff. And until next time, enjoy what you're reading.